Good evening, Jessica Van Vonderen with ABC News Sunday. Emphasising stability and renewal, the first Morrison ministry has been appointed. The Prime Minister's moved quickly to put his front bench together to try to end the bitter recriminations from last week's overthrow of Malcolm Turnbull. Peter Dutton is staying where he is, but he's been stripped of some of his responsibilities. And Julie Bishop, who's been on the coalition front bench for 15 years, has quit the ministry altogether. Here's political reporter Jane Norman at Parliament House.
She's reached the pinnacle of her political career.
105. Oh yeah, that's the best I've ever done.
And decided her race in Cabinet has been run.
But I can assure you, whatever I do, I believe will be in the context of what's in the best interest of the nation.
With Julie Bishop out of his pack,
and we're going to score right now.
The Prime Minister drew inspiration from his favourite footy team as he drew up a new one.
This new Liberal national team is a next generation team.
And that new team includes some fresh faces. Out of relative obscurity comes Melissa Price, who's been catapulted into Cabinet as the Minister for Environment. Karen Andrews will join her taking on industry and science. Another big winner, Angus Taylor, who's been appointed to the challenging energy portfolio. Kelly O'Dwyer has been promoted to Jobs and Industrial Relations Minister, replacing Michaelia Cash, who's been moved sideways into small business and skills.
There is not a business in the country that I don't expect that Michaelia Cash won't visit.
Maurice Payne takes on the prized Foreign Affairs portfolio, while Christopher Pyne has been appointed Defence Minister. Simon Birmingham switches into trade, with his education portfolio going to Dan Tehan. Leadership challenger Peter Dutton keeps Home Affairs, but immigration has been peeled off and given to David Coleman. And acknowledging rising concerns about Australia's growth, Alan Tudge will take on the newly created population portfolio.
We want these new perspectives. We want this fresh energy.
Labor's not buying the spin, but it's just as bewildered by the events of the past week, even offering a remarkable concession.
Well, Malcolm Turnbull was doing just fine. We have seen a Prime Minister that continued to be popular with the Australian people, torn down by the extreme right of the Liberal Party.
Well, we certainly saw a handful of individuals who decided to wreak havoc.
It's no secret who those individuals were, nor what motivated them. But voters have been left wondering how a small group of discontents morphed into a full-blown rebellion.
Sadly, that worked by just sheer perseverance. They continued to chip away in a destructive way.
And the bloodletting is far from over. A text message exchange obtained by the ABC gives some insight into the deep distrust that developed in the lead-up to Friday's three-cornered contest. It begins with an MP warning colleagues that senior Liberal Matthias Cormann was directing MPs to vote for Julie Bishop to undermine Scott Morrison's chances. Be aware this is a ruse, he tells the group. He's trying to get Bishop ahead of Morrison, so he drops out and his votes go to Dutton. Someone should tell Julie, another MP writes, before Christopher Pyne replies, I have, very respectfully. When contacted by the ABC, Matthias Cormann flightly denies he sought to divide for Peter Dutton to conquer. In naming his new front bench, Scott Morrison's hoping to hit the reset button on some troubled policy areas. In energy, the Commonwealth's locked in a stalemate with the states after shelving its national energy guarantee. The new education minister will need to resolve a damaging dispute with the Catholic education sector on schools funding, and after ditching the remainder of its company tax cuts, the government's now promising a new policy focusing on smaller businesses. Jane Norman, ABC News, Canberra.